the spin splitting. Well, we shall see now what is spin splitting, why it happens, and what is the application of this concept spin splitting in understanding the nature of the molecule in NMR spectra. Okay, when you consider an organic molecule which has this kind of bond, that is CH, on adjacent side it is connected to another carbon and hydrogen. So as we are studying here the HNMR, that is proton NMR. So if you want to analyze, get the spectra of the hydrogen of this carbon atom, which is referred as A hydrogen here. So in that case, the signal for this hydrogen is influenced by the adjacent proton with respect to this hydrogen. So since there is one hydrogen atom, and so the proton of this hydrogen atom can have two types of spins. One is plus half and another one is a minus half. So in the population of hydrogen atom, many number of hydrogen atoms in a molecule, the probability of plus half will be 50% and minus half will be another 50%. Hence, the magnetic field corresponding to plus half spin is influencing to an extent of 50% on this proton, another time minus half for 50%. So the single signal for this proton, now it is divided into two signals with equal intensity corresponding to the spin of the neighboring proton, that is plus half one time and the minus half the other. So when the neighboring proton, when it has minus half spin, so when it is moving in an anti-clockwise direction, that case, see, the signal will be occurring slightly in the off field because it is opposing. So in this case, if it is plus half, means it is aligning with the field, hence its signal will be slightly towards the down field. So the same signal now is split into two parts with equal intensity, hence the signal for this proton, A proton, is now influenced by one hydrogen atom on the neighboring group, and that is why its splitting signal is split into 1:1 ratio. So this is called as the spin splitting. The spin of the neighboring hydrogen atom is capable of splitting the signal of the said proton. So n+1 rule. So according to this rule, when you are considering the signal of one proton, it is now influenced by the neighboring protons. If there are two neighboring protons, then the signal for this hydrogen will be having splitting equal to 2 plus 1, that is 3 signals are obtained, hence this is called as a triplet. If you consider the signal for these two protons, then what happens? The signal for these two hydrogen atoms is now influenced by neighboring one hydrogen atom, and since there is only one hydrogen atom, the signal will be split into n+1. N refers to the number of neighboring hydrogen atoms. So for these two hydrogen atoms we are getting the doublet, but while for this single hydrogen we are getting the triplet. So the splitting of signal, whether it is singlet means single peak, doublet 2 peaks, triplet 3 peaks, So it shows the kind of neighboring protons that are present in a molecule. Hence, so if there is only one hydrogen, then the splitting will be into two signals, that is doublets we are getting. Then why we are getting the triplet? So here we have the reason. Suppose if you are considering the signal for this hydrogen atom, it has two neighboring hydrogen atoms. So each proton has got two allowed spin states, isn't it? So both can have positive spin plus spin, both can have negative spin. This is the probability. So here we have one. When it is having positive spin plus half spin, it may be having negative half spin. On the other hand, if it is having plus half, then it may be having the minus half. So the probability of this opposite spin will be double than these two probabilities. Hence the signal is split in the ratio 1 is to 2. 1 is to 2 is to 1, means the height of the signal, middle signal, will be 2 times the neighboring signals. So total number of signals that we are getting is equal to 3, and the height ratio is equal to 1 is to 2 is to 1. But here, so if you consider the signal for this two hydrogen atoms, it has only one neighboring hydrogen atom. Hence, at one time it can be having plus half or minus half. So 50% probability is there. Hence, both are having the equal height. So the doublet has got 1 is to 1 ratio in the height, but triplet will be divided into 1 is to 2 is to 1 ratio. Then, similar to this, if we have quartet, so this is the allowed spin state for these three protons which are immediately in the neighbor of these two. So now we are considering the signal for these two hydrogen atoms. It is split into how many? 3 plus 1, that is 4 signals are obtained. Hence we are getting a quartet for these two. And how, what is the intensity ratio? So 1 is to 3 is to 3 is to 1. So always quartet will be split in the ratio of 1 is to 3 is to 3 is to 1. Then we have